Now here's a nasty one, Blasphemous.
One way to appropriately summarize Blasphemous is gnarly as fuck. This crowd-funded indie game is probably one of the most visceral and gory, as well as one of the most poetic of all the games covered in the series. What began as a Kickstarter game that previewed as a grim and gritty Soulsvania, with an abundance of bloodshed and body horror, grew into this whole other monstrosity entirely. I remember seeing beta versions of this game when it was first announced and being super intrigued by its gruesome nature and mature themes while still being a pixelated game. I saw glimpses of gameplay in the next couple years since it got funded, but I kind of forgot about it in the foray of all these other glorious indie titles that dropped. Then lo and behold, Blasphemous drops in September of this year, and it's a work of sheer brilliance. This game's art direction and environment was actually inspired by Spanish art from the 1700s, and more specifically the ancient city of Seville in Spain. It's cool to see this rustic and ancient artisan design influence outside of the regular English and Germanic influence often found in fantasy games. Yet again, this game is tougher than rusty nails. Your main defense is utilization of the parry mechanic and patience. You have a whole spread of different upgrades you can apply, ranging from your main leveling abilities to equipping your mea culpa with different adornments, as well as the rosary for another layer of mods. Blasphemous definitely leans a bit more on the Metroidvania side, more so than Dark Souls, which is refreshing in a sense. You don't lose your main currency upon death, however you do lose a piece of yourself, which is your fervor bar, that essentially feeds your skill abilities. Each time you die, you need to return to a point of passing and reclaim your guilt, as it's described in the game. Another thing that is very reflective of the Metroidvania formula, as opposed to Dark Souls, is the visible map. You don't see this as often lately in this grid style, and it's definitely reflective of the genre. I personally love how they use color coordination to separate the different themed areas. This, I think, is something Bloodstained could have honestly really used, although I get the plain blue map is like a staple of the series it's emulating. The monsters almost harken to a Dante's Inferno kind of vibe, where many of these creatures are like dysmorphic, naked humans that all seem to be subject to some sort of torture, relative to the Nine Hells. Some are barred in cages or crucified upon barren trees, or forced to carry a stone pillar similar to a cross they bear. It's pretty gnarly, and to me emanates a biblical fire and brimstone feel that is really conducive to the themes of the game.
And now, Team 17 just released a new DLC called Stir of Dawn, which seems to implement added features and Torment to New Game Plus, as well as new areas, story beats, adversaries, combos, bosses, and even new skins. What a grandiose time to explore the depths of Custodia. Thanks again for watching and have a pleasant day.